Mike Rizzitiello, College Place City Administrator, here with your May 2025 City Project Update. So May is a busy month. There's several meetings in the month of May. First one is Economic Development, Tourism, and Events Commission. They meet Monday, May 5th at 5 p.m. That meeting, they'll primarily discuss the comprehensive economic development strategy work that's underway, and then also likely recommend adoption and recommendation of City Council for the Martin Airfield plan, all the infrastructure needs and such out in that part of the community. City Council workshop is Tuesday, May 6th at 5:30 p.m. A lot of stuff will be on their agenda. The sister cities work that our Youth Advisory Commission is working on. Also the park plan that was voted out of the Park and Arbor and Recreation Board at the end of April. That'll be presented to City Council, and then the start of the comprehensive plan, because we are at the juncture of updating it after the 8-year time frame, and then also work on the land capacity analysis, which dictates changes to urban growth areas and such. Our quarterly Utilities and Transportation Advisory Committee meets on May 8th at 3:30 p.m. and topics of discussion there will be the Martin Airfield plan, because there is an infrastructure nexus to it. Also, Safe Streets for All plan, that's paid for by federal SS4A grant, and they'll basically go over road improvements for the next several years from a safety nexus, and then also an accessibility nexus as well. And then project updates for the various construction projects, which we'll go over a little later. City Council will meet on Tuesday, May 13th at 7 p.m. There'll be a business meeting, so at that juncture they'll likely vote on the park plan, and there'll be other work that they will undertake. Planning Commission, they will meet Tuesday, May 20th at 7 p.m. Topics of discussion there will be comprehensive plan and land capacity analysis. Pretty much throughout the rest of 2025, Planning Commission's going to meet the third Tuesday of each month, go over various sections of our comprehensive plan, and that's a blueprint for growth in the community over the next 6 to 8 years. And a lot of the growth management requirements from the state are tied to it. So that's very important. So they'll be going over that third Tuesday of each month. Council will then get an update on that work at their workshops that are held the first Tuesday of each month. So it'll be very busy 2025. Park, Arbor, and Recreation Board, they will meet Friday, May 23rd at 8 a.m. They'll go over the Youth Rec program for this summer, and then also close out items with Lions Park, because we're getting near having that complete. City facilities will be closed on Memorial Day, so that's Monday, May 26th. And then City Council will have a business meeting on Tuesday, May 27th at 7 p.m. May 2025 really kicks off our event season, so our City Clerk's office is very busy on planning those events and taking sign-ups for vendors and such. So our annual block party, that'll be held on Sunday, May 18th from 1 to 6 p.m. And activities and vendors will be all along College Avenue from Whitman Drive to 4th Street at the Walla Walla University campus. So please take part in that. After all these years, we've been working on the Lions Park project as long as I've been here, so over 8 years. Finally, it's going to be complete after all this time. So the Lions Park grand reopening will be on Thursday, May 29th at 4:30 p.m. There will be a ribbon cutting. The Lions Club will be having the fishing derby at the pond. The pond's been newly dredged with a new dam holding it in, so it does have the appropriate depth now for bigger fish relative to what was being stocked in there before the renovations. And then also that same day and time, the farmers market is kicking off as well. So Farmers Market is moving back to Lions Park. As part of the renovations, we put in quite a bit of electrical infrastructure so it can better serve the market and the community at large. And then from May 29th through the end of September, Farmers Market will be at Lions Park every Thursday from 4 to 7 p.m. If anyone wants to vend at the Farmers Market, block party, or any of our community events, please contact the City Clerk's office, Mary Elizabeth Garcia or the Deputy Clerk Rhett. Please contact them, and then they will set you up to get signed up to vend at those specific events. From the Legal City Attorney Department, there has been a changeover in that City Attorney's office. So Kerr Ferguson Law Group, they represent City of Pasco and some other clients. They are now our contract city attorney. And then the firm of Rio Foltz PLLC, led by Mike Rio, is acting as the contract city prosecutor. So that is the change there. Kerr Ferguson, they are working on review of Pacific Power franchise because it has to be updated. And then another big thing we're undertaking is through the National Association of Courts is an analysis of our court system, because right now and for the past several years, the city has contracted with Walla Walla County District Court to jointly run municipal court services through the district court with the county and city of Walla Walla. We're doing this analysis to truly determine, is that the best route, both from outcomes and then also finances as well, just to truly understand that. So we'll be working feverishly on that study with the consulting and all of our partners throughout the rest of this year to truly get an answer about what is best, about keep outsourcing it to the county district court system or bring it in-house. So they'll be determined. Through City Clerk's office, besides the community events, they are working on several things. Thanks to their great efforts, they are working with the business owners in a greater community and establishing a downtown college place association, and officially got its 501c3, which is great. They're having meetings every month. And a downtown association, once it becomes fully active, essentially the city can sign up to be a Main Street community through the state, and if you get accepted as that, the state has a Main Street tax incentive program where when the businesses pay B&O taxes to the state, instead of the state keeping it, they can just pay it as a credit to the downtown association, and then the state credits a lot of it, and then that money stays local to help with like events, incentives, things like that. So that's very important work that the City Clerk's office is engaged in. They are also working with our Youth Advisory Commission on a proposal for a Sister Cities program. We have very active youth advisory commissioners that want to establish a youth sister city relationship with Junipo, Mexico, and then also a community in Italy as well. So they are working quite a bit on all that. And then also we're thinking out of the box about adding food trucks, whether it be to parks or at city facilities. So at the last council meeting, there were 2 lease agreements to have essentially 2 food trucks in the City Hall parking lot during lunch until a little bit of dinner time. So we're going to be looking at that and see how it goes. You may recall we did that a couple of years ago when Marie's Rustic Pie was here. So we're going to continue to see how that works. Eventually, with our tax increment finance program, that parking lot we want to develop, we plan to put essentially food truck spaces and hookups in there as well to activate the downtown area. For the Community Development Department, they are busy this month as well. So they are working on the comprehensive plan that sets forth the blueprint for future growth and reutilization of lands in the community and its associated urban growth area for the next 8 years. So they'll be going deep into work on housing, economic development, transportation, natural resources. The state now mandates a climate change chapter. They're paying for it, but we're trying to figure out all that entails, because that's a new requirement with the Growth Management Act. So there's a lot of moving parts. Also, that is when folks can petition to have land swapped or added to the urban growth area. So for folks interested in being part of the urban growth area for College Place, please contact Community Development Director John Rickard. His email is jrickard@cpwa.us. The UGA process is now fully dictated by the city. So there is mathematical formula about countywide growth rates, and then it ends up being really a county decision about how the growth is allocated and where at. So we can make recommendations, but ultimately it ends up at the county commissioner's bench for doing the final vote. So for those that are interested, contact our community development office and we'll see what we can do. Other development that is underway is homes at Mill Creek. That's in Village's Garrison Creek development. Those are currently being constructed, so that's very exciting. It's the last 2 phases. So those are starting to come out of the ground. So that's great to see additional housing in the valley. Villages of Fort Walla Walla, which is the long dormant apartment development by Farron Group. We've received communications from them as far as the financing they put together. They believe that 2 of the apartment buildings with the clubhouse will be constructed this summer. So it looks like that project is actually going to come out of the ground. So that's exciting to see, because we need housing of all varieties and types here in the valley. And then College Holdings Lakeside Group, they're ones that bought the Craig Christensen property over off of Majanier Road, south side. They are in the process of turning in memoranda to go run that development through our hearing examiner process. So once the community development director deems that the application is complete, public notices will go out, and then there'll be a hearing examiner meeting. There'll be publicly noticed to go over everything. So as the summer transpires, keep an eye out for that. Fire department, we are getting toward wildfire season, so please be careful outside. Also, if any folks want to volunteer, we are a combination agency, which means we have some full-time firefighters, and they really support our cadre of volunteer firefighters. That is majority of workforce of our ambulance and fire department. So if you are interested in volunteering, please call Fire Chief David Winger at 509-394-8602 or email him at dwinter, W-I-N-T-E-R, at cpwa.us. And also they establish a list for folks that want to live in the firehouse as well, because we do have dorms in there as well. Human Resources Department, we do have a storm worker position available, so if anyone's interested in that, please apply today. Police Department, we are working on getting a canine program established, so you'll see more news on that as the year progresses, but they'll be first in recent years for the community. Also, our police captain position is filled by Chris Schweigert. He's formerly a state patrol on the worked out Montana, but we're happy to welcome him aboard. He was sworn in a couple council meetings ago. Police station structure. So even though that didn't pass the voter ballot, we are working on ways to re-envision that. So one thing that we're doing is having discussions with Walla Walla County and City of Walla Walla, because they have a need to relocate emergency management in Westcom, which is 911 system. Right now they're in the former Pacific Power building that's along an active floodway and near a building that could have issues in an earthquake. They were going to go out to the airport. The structures out there didn't really meet Homeland Security FEMA requirements, so they're back at the drawing board, and we mentioned like, hey, maybe look at collaborating on this new structure. So we're going to jointly look for grants, outside financing, to try to bring the cost of that down for the taxpayer for when we get in a position where we can request it again. But we're going to try and combine resources and be very efficient with what we're able to do. Public Works, there's a lot of projects going on in Public Works as we are at the height of construction season. Lions Park, Nelson is wrapping up that project. That project was conceptualized over 8 years ago. Finally, it's wrapping up. Some issues with it, though, is some of the fundamental grants paying for it at the federal level got paused. So we're backfilling it with some dollars we had saved for the Veterans Park renovation. So the Veterans Park project we've talked about in the past, that may get pushed off a year or two, because Lions Park, it's fenced up now, so we have to get that done. That is the top priority in the park department. Other projects, wastewater, lift station number 5. So the new lift station, which is on property on Southwest First, you can see it's starting to take shape. The old coffee can structure will be removed, and then as the asphalt plants open back up, new asphalt's getting poured, and you can see the new sidewalks. So Southwest First really looks nice. Paulo did a great job on that, and it'll be done, we expect sometime in June. Wastewater treatment plant, phase 1A, which is change out mechanical equipment, that's all underway right now. Phase 1B will get bid out. Our on-call engineer, JUB, is working on the bid documents. And Phase 1B is going to entail getting new irrigation for treated effluent for farm fields, because we contract that out where a farmer farms things that folks don't eat. So like hay, alfalfa, things like that. Also, we have to build a very large detention basin / impoundment for the treated effluent and the 80 acres we bought off the state. With our new wastewater permit, after we farmed any leftover treated effluent we used to discharge into Garrison Creek, we no longer can do that in the summer season. We can in the winter, not in the summer, so we need a place to go put this stuff. So that is what the State Department of Ecology told us to do, so that is what we will do. Post office crosswalk is finally done. Everything is, the bags are off and it's finally functional, so that project's off the list. Southwest Majanier, we're in the final stages of buying some of the right-of-way. Some of the right-of-way we have, buy some on each side, because when you're dealing with federal money, they tell you to essentially buy the right-of-way equitably off of each side of the center line, so it's not like you can aim it on one side versus the other. So with that, as soon as we get done with right-of-way, we'll get the bid out and get that thing under construction, and that's going to be a full reconstruction. So once it's under construction, you'll see new 11-foot travel lanes, turn lanes at intersections, bike lanes, sidewalk, and then street lamps as well. Also utilities such as water, sewer, storm, and fire hydrants will be extended along Southwest Majanier from College Avenue to Blueview Lane, which is a private road that accesses the city limits. So that project we expect will get to construction later in the year, probably go heavily into 2026, and there's a lot of federal and state grant money paying for that. Another project where engineering is done and we plan to get out to construction this summer is Southeast 8th Street. We have some pass-through MPO Surface Transportation Block Grant money and State Transportation Improvement Board grant money to go build a new sidewalk on Southeast 8th between College and Larch on the south side, and then bump out to a rapid flashing beacon across Larch. That's going to become critical so pedestrians can move safely from the downtown College Avenue area to Lions Park, especially when the new community center eventually gets complete. Also, Northeast Rose Street. That project you'll see under construction this summer. We end up with another State Transportation Improvement Board grant to go put in pedestrian street lamps like what you see on 4th Street between Ash and Cary Court along the multi-use path to light that thing up. So it'll look a lot better and it'll be a lot safer when we complete that this summer. A lot of projects are now in the engineering phase for next year. One is New East-West Road across the new development south of Majanier. So we're getting the engineering and that complete this year into next year, because that road will go to the new intermediate school. Also working on Southwest Davis, we end up with a state grant to go put pedestrian street lamps on Davis from Whitman to 6th, and then also resurface, repave Davis from 4th to 6th with a new sidewalk on that 2-block area as well. So we're going to aim to have that for construction next year. Whitman Path, so filling the gap between Davis and Academy Way. We do have grant money to go do engineering and right-of-way acquisition, so we're going to start on that later in the year, and we'll look for grants for construction. Tax increment financing, we actually acquired some property across the street from City Hall. We're going to work on engineering the new parking lot, and we're going to put spaces in for food trucks, so that way, beyond just having a place for customers to park for businesses, there'll be some activity generation as well, which is key. Lions Park Community Center. Right now we have Design West designing the structure. It's a partnership between the YMCA and then the library, community college, and others. So where it'll essentially have a child care facility, community kitchen, and then also the permanent branch for the rural library district and community room. So we're going to get architectural done this year, and then we're trying to get a lot of state and federal and outside grant money and make it a reality between 2026 and 2027. So keep your eyes peeled for that. And it'll go where the current community center is. That'll get leveled and a new one will go in its place. Stormwater decant facility. We have grant money to go construct one out at the treatment plant. That is appropriate equipment so our street sweepers can be clean. You'll see that take place later in the year. We are also doing engineering on what does punching through Southwest Owens look like, because with the new development south of Majanier and then Tarragon, which owns Martin Airfield, they have plans to fix up the airport and then do development around it. That likely is going to necessitate another north-south road, and we don't want to be impacting people. So we're looking at trying to envision what a north-south across the very fringe of the treatment plant property looks like. So stay tuned for that. And then stormwater, we have engineering grant money to go evaluate Northwest Earl between Whitman and Evans. It has a flooding problem, so engineer solution to fix that up and repave it. So a lot of stuff's going on. As things change, we will let you know with that. Thank you.